Good morning and welcome to What's New with Mike, Jeff, and Mark. Pumpkin spice is in the air, and we're here to bring you hobby news. I'm your host, Mike, and with me is Jeff and Mark. How are you, gentlemen?
Morning.
I'm here.
I'm here. Yes, pumpkin spice is in the air. Everything is pumpkin spice. My wife is excited, and yeah, it's that time of the year.
Yay!
Gotta love it. It means winter is coming for us in Arizona, which is amazing. Kind of tired of the 118-degree temperatures.
I can see that.
Uh-huh.
Oh, wait, I don't live there anymore.
Well, you used to live here and you remember summer and having to ride your motorcycle because that was your only mode of transportation.
I have blocked all that out.
Yeah, you spent thousands of dollars on therapy to block that out of your.
No, the trauma just buried it deep in my psyche.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm excited because it means I can finally get back to work on my garage and clear out some crap and organize it a little bit better. I know.
Very cool.
I know it's not the most exciting thing, but I'm excited about it.
So why don't we tell everybody why we have Mark with us again?
Okay. Well, Mark has joined us because he recently returned from another model show. What show was it?
This was the International Plastic Modeling Society USA version, or USA chapter, or if you will, or organization. IPMS USA,
Okay.
national contest in Hampton, Virginia. So just across the waterway from Norfolk. So
Very cool. Very cool. And Mark has become a shutterbug and took a bunch of photos for us to share on the show. So
yeah, my wife and I were Jamie's part of the national registration team that organizes and handles the registration process at these shows. So they get a 2-for-1 discount with me. So
very cool.
Because they get her and then they get me for free. So I do a little bit of IT tech support for the show and stuff while I'm there, try to help out.
Very cool. I believe Andy's from Andy's Hobby Headquarters was there, if I'm not mistaken.
Andy's was there. As a matter of fact, if you see his video where he's walking around the walking around the vendor room, at the 1 minute and 30-second mark, you see my fat butt sitting on a collapsible stool, rummaging through.
I did. Okay. That was
rummaging
you?
Through this guy, because we brought these collapsible stools called cyclone stools, right? They collapse down. They're great because they just collapse down and I'm sitting there going through all these little bins that had, just loose Edward sets and R&B barrels and little accessories and stuff. And I'm like, you're always hunched over and it just kills me. And it's like, yeah. So I showed up.
I do remember that scene.
I'm wearing the Andy's green T-shirt, by the way, of the M113. So yeah, that was me.
Very cool. Very cool. You're world famous now.
Yeah. It was not my best size.
Hey, when you're at those shows, and you're rummaging, any piece of comfort you can get to do it.
Seriously, it was a lifesaver because I took it for judging on Friday night because I judge automotive, the automotive category, and I'm one of the team captains for that group. And so we have to fill out a lot of paperwork after each category. You got to sit there and write in each of the winning models, first, second, and third, add each of the judges' names, just fill out this paperwork. And you're hunched over on a low table. It's like, it just kills your back because you're on a concrete floor for a while. So
yeah,
I did that and I just went zip like this. And everybody's like, I need one of those. And I thought there were a couple of old guys were going to try and, maul me and steal it. But I was like, especially during the break. So.
It was good to see Andy's video. Good morning, David. And both Davids. It was good to see Andy's video. It's nice to know that you were in it. He kind of did a real quick scan of all the tables. Now today we're going to see some actual close-up photos so we can actually take kind of like a still shot of all of the different models, because I saw some. We kind of went through them real quick, and I
So
saw.
they had two massive. The venue was really good as far as large, and actually, in some spots it was a little a little too big, which was okay, because especially the model room, you could actually drive a tank down the road. I mean, normally we've had shows like in San Marcos, Texas. They were really tight between the less than 6 feet in some cases, or just at 6 feet. So they were really tight. You get a lot of people in there and stuff, and this one, literally they had the tables really far apart, probably good 10 feet apart from the looks of it. And there was plenty of room, plenty of real estate for the tables and stuff, as well as on the tables. It was really good. So.
Yeah, it looked like a great show.
Well, we do have a ton of picks to go through.
Yes, we do. Good morning, Don. How are you, buddy?
187 to be exact.
Yep, somewhere like that.
186, 187. Plus, we have our Discord picks, so we probably want to get started.
All right.
Yes, sir. Okay.
Where do you want to do our picks from Discord? Let's start with the model show.
Let's jump into our picks first, and then we'll start going through the model show picks, because there's a lot to look at in the model show, and there's actually, from when we were scanning through them, I saw some tabletop miniatures being displayed as well. So it'll be nice.
I did grab a bunch of figures and focused mostly on the figures when I saw them.
Some of the stuff I saw was amazing. So I can't wait to really take a look at it.
This is a project Dave's been working on. I did my best to get him in the order to kind of show what he's doing.
Okay.
Couple vehicles he's got going here. Working on it. He's actually moving into the paint stage. But what I was confused by the pick I showed last week, and now I understand what he's doing. He is making these vehicles and for undercarrying tanks.
Yes.
Ooh.
So those are going to hold the tanks on so we can drop them.
Rhinos.
Yeah, that's going to be awesome.
And there they are there. And there.
Look at that.
So I thought that
looks like a Star Wars type model or something like that.
Yeah, no, I thought that was kind of cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
it's going to be nice when it's done.
Yeah, they're very cool.
It's going to be massive.
Yeah. I mean, he's got two of them, but last week we had the pick and we had the armatures on the Rhino, and I was like, what? Well, I was kind of curious, but now we actually see that that's where he's headed with this.
Yeah, it's going to look nice when it's done.
The Soviets used to do that with the Polikarpov I-16. They strapped them under the wings of the Bear bomber, and when they got to the bomb site, the I-16s would detach and fly cover.
Yep. Very cool. I don't think the Rhinos are going to fly cover, but
Well, they could. They just be big bombs. Just drop them.
Just drop them.
They just shoot on their way down. And then Don's got some more Shatterpoint stuff.
Yes, look at that.
Really good.
Shatterpoint's pretty good. That's the larger figures, isn't it? I mean,
yeah, they're larger.
Traditional 28.
They're like 32, 35.
Yeah.
They're looking really good.
They're very detailed, like really thin parts and stuff. And look at that.
They're fun to paint. I did a bunch for Battlefront. We put some of the Shatterpoint figures around our Tau terrain because the Tau stuff looks very Tatooine, I guess is the best way to describe it.
Tatooine.
Looks like Tatooine train or desert train or Star Wars train. And then Joe's got some stuff here.
Weird looking sci-fi stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, Captain Morgan.
I know what these guys are all thinking. Why are we near this erupting volcano?
We took the wrong turn.
The wrong turn.
I don't think our muskets are going to help us, or our spears are going to help us.
And on Discord, guys, Joe's asking for some advice on where he should go from here. So feel free to chime in on Discord and let him know where to go. What might be a new technique, something you might want to try. Go from there. That all looks really, really good.
Oh,
Steve has finally posted again. He hasn't been posted in a while, but this is his Logan Grimnar, which is really good. I like his OSL work on this.
Man, Steve has grown so much.
Yeah.
That effect is just amazing on that model.
Yep. Looks good.
Lots of glazing.
Yep.
And he's painting Space Wolves, so you've got to be like a proud little papa.
Yeah, they're good. They're cool.
Loving it.
Tim finally finished his orc.
Old school orc. Love that face. And a vampire.
Keep looking down underneath the table where my puppy's at.
Uh-oh.
Trying to make sure he's not into something like, what do you just hear the licking and chopping or whatever. Like, okay, dude, what do you got? So,
What are you chewing on?
More terrain from Tim. More orc.
Another classic orc. Very cool.
And then a couple pieces I finished up.
Boy, that's pink.
It's Emperor's Children. It's supposed to be pink.
Yeah.
So
Do you edge highlight it in white?
I blended some white and then the original Emperor's Children pink, just to get a little bit of an edge highlight.
Very cool.
These decals were a pain because there's no film, like in the circle here.
Yeah.
There's no film there. So when you pull it off the decal sheet, this just collapses. And I had to spend some time getting it all the way flat again.
Very nice.
And then I knocked these guys out. I got a few more of these done. I haven't taken pictures of them yet.
Is that a Song of Ice and Fire?
No, this is from, let me find the book. It's from Conquest.
Oh, very cool.
So I like the fact they come with their own little four-man movement trays.
Yeah. So great game. I need to motivate and paint my stack of them.
So yep, pretty much that wraps up our
wasn't Song of Ice and Fire a book series or something like that?
Yeah, that's Game of Thrones. That's what it was originally titled. Then they put a game out called Song of Ice and Fire. Simon did. So
those are the humans from a conquest.
Yeah. Well, because the first thing that threw me to Song of Ice and Fire is because they got the same type of movement trace system in Song of Ice and Fire where you got them kind of preloaded. And
Joe was asking for help on the flesh tones on the Lando model. That model we showed quite a while ago, Joe. It was actually a few shows ago. But I was noticing I'm just going to check I'm not insane. Hang on 1 minute. Yeah, you would ask for advice on the bottom of the last two we showed today. You asked for some advice. That's why I mentioned it. So, yeah.
Flesh tone is a challenging thing. I learned the hard way.
I hang on 1 minute. Let me go back here.
I'm working on a couple of as a practice. I'm working on a couple of World War II Tamaya figures, and I've got the baselines down for the faces and stuff like that, and the first level highlights. I'm at the stage where I got to go in and do the eyes and do a little bit of
the challenge with flesh tone is I think it has more to do with the paint that you're using. Because a lot of it just straight out of the pot can come off lifeless.
Yeah,
because you need to add a little bit of red to it for your base coat, and then you got to really glaze up slowly the highlighted, like the cheeks and the forehead and the nose and stuff. If you're just trying to do I don't think there's a quick one coat type paint situation.
We showed this pic for Joe back in July. And apparently he's asking for advice on the flesh tone for this guy.
Okay, yeah.
Because we showed the Lando model back in July. And so this is the one he's asking for some advice on getting the flesh tone a bit. So if anybody has any pointers for him.
So Joe, I'll post. I'll go through. I've got a couple of links for doing flesh tones, both for various skins and stuff like that. I'll post them under which group should I post them under Discord? Which chapter?
Just go into the sci-fi section. Go and you'll find Joe's pick and just comment on. Okay. He asked for advice on that pick. We showed these. I missed a comment then, but we showed them back in July. But normally I use a much darker base tone for my flesh. I'll usually start with something like Rhinox hide or dryad bark, and then I have found that Morning Fang Brown from GW is a really good highlight for that. And I'll do either a little layering, a little dry brushing, depending on what I'm trying to do.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
When I'm doing darker flesh tones, I'll start using mahoganies and stuff like that with a little bit of a red tint to it. Just because that's the challenge with flesh tone is you want to have it, you want to make it look alive. And I think with some red tints into it and things like that help make it look more alive than just, like a peach color or brown color or tan color.
Yeah. My normally like on the, Blood Reaver Flesh is another good one for a highlight for that darker brown flesh tone. So, if anybody has any other comments or suggestions for Joe, pop back in, look back in the pics under sci-fi for back. These were posted back in July. This is the one he's asking for, and so just give him your thoughts.
Don made a comment. Girl with a brush was saying you highlight it up past where it looks good and then come back with a thin down contrast.
Mm-hmm.
He found it works really good. And that's actually a technique I use with a lot of things where I'll contrast really extreme and then I'll thin down the paint and go back over it because it kind of creates a little bit of a more muted highlight.
Pretty much every flesh tone I do, I will do the base. I'll do a contrast, and I'll do the actual end highlight. And then I always take the original base tone in a glaze and go back over the whole thing, and that kind of blends those lines between those colors together.
Yep.
Which I think I showed back when I was doing the Wolf Den. Back in the day, I did I took the large marine head and ran through that process on that one.
Well, that's what you told me with the Wartime Army is go back to your base tone and then thin it way down and glaze over it.
Glaze over everything. Yeah, that kind of pulls everything into that nice little transition gradient.
Yeah, it's a lot of work. Flesh tone's not easy.
Yeah, it's a lot. Yeah, and it takes time and practice. And a lot of trial and error.
Well, that's why I did the Wartime Army. I chose an army that had a lot of flesh tones, so I could specifically just focus on the flesh tone. Yeah. But Mark, if you've got some links that you can post into the Discord, that would be fantastic.
That would be fantastic. I'll try to post a few today too, Joe, because flesh tone is one of those things, especially when you because quite frankly, there's so many variations of flesh tone. And there's so many nuances of color. I mean, everywhere from green to reds to purples that you can add to bring that, for lack of a better put, flesh tone to life.
There's a set from AK Interactive for their 3rd gen paints called Flesh or whatever.
And flesh tone, flesh by itself is actually translucent anyway, so you have a lot of variation in colors and pigments, and it takes a long time.
Yes, it does.
I am nowhere near anywhere an expert. I still get frustrated with depending on the flesh tone I'm trying to get. So.
All right. So we're going to move into the...
Hope that helps, Joe.
We're going to move into the photos from the IPMS. So before we get started... we have sound effects in StreamYard now, everybody. So watch out.
So Mike has gone a little button crazy.
I have a new toy to play with on stream. So, well, is this the entrance into the?
This is later in the week. We didn't start taking pictures until Saturday. So
this is Mark's house. Actually, this is the foyer into Mark's home.
No. I didn't win the lottery, but someday it might be.
I always found it weird he has an ATM there, but
No. That's for when everybody wants to come to Bradley Hobbies and spend money. So that's what they can't buy. Okay.
There you go.
So, like I said, this was at in Hampton. It was hosted in Hampton, Virginia this year. So right there near Virginia Beach and Norfolk and stuff like that. So the venue here itself was really great. This was the registration area. This picture was taken on Saturday after we had Saturday afternoon after we'd already started tearing down the registration area. So the tables and the chairs, this section here, this is where everybody my wife Jamie and a bunch of us were helping with the registration for everybody. And you had walk-ins down at this end and pre-registered folks because everything was done online this year. If you were smart, you did everything online and you just showed up and got your package and went on your way. If you weren't smart, then you sat here in line and had to deal with a bunch of stuff. But it was a great venue. Like I said, really big, stuff like that.
Yeah.
They had one big hall for the vendor room. Okay. And you saw, like you mentioned in Andy's videos, his vendor walk where they did the walk around and stuff. And then the other further down, there was this hall here. So you see how wide those tables are?
Yeah.
I mean, how the gap between them, like I wasn't kidding. You can drive a truck. This is, and since Vegas, these are the space for people to walk through and stuff. This is the widest I've ever seen it.
But that's nice though,
It
because
is nice.
not
Don't get me wrong,
bumping
dude.
into
I'm not
everybody.
complaining. It definitely was nice because you had folks with, in the past we've had folks with wheelchairs and walkers and stuff like this that it was always tight and it made challenging to work around. This time you didn't have that issue at all.
Very nice.
Very cool.
So they had pretty good lighting. The reason I took this to show you had the lighting overhead and stuff and how well it is and things like this. When I did retouched on this figure or big figure picture, that's a no. Sorry, somebody's trying to get my bagel off screen. So I wanted to show this. Pretty much, this is how it looked. It's not really. I didn't mess with the exposure or the lighting up to make it a better picture, or whatever. This is pretty much what we were working with when we were judging and throughout the event. So we did judging on Friday night. So yeah.
Very nice.
A lot of, the traditional categories, you had aircraft, armor, sci-fi, ships, miscellaneous. In the sci-fi category, they did add Gundam. They for the last couple of years, they've been adding Gundam models to the show. And this year they split out the Gundam and the Maschinen Krieger models, the Mac. Pretty much anything that was mecha related, they moved off into a separate category from the rest of. So it wasn't competing with like Star Wars X-Wings or Star Trek Enterprises or something like that. It was, or even real space, because you had some of those categories.
Yeah, I saw some of those models.
So yeah, I try to take a lot of the pictures geared towards your guys' show. And so because when I was taking the photos and stuff here, one I took automotive cars that I was judging with, as well as different things like that.
I know that model kit.
Yep.
I trashed mine.
Huh?
I had that kit and it totally messed it up. My paint job totally messed up on me.
Well, we can get your paint jobs there because I'm still working on my paint job, so it's okay. It's a work in progress. It's
a nice kit. I love that kit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they just came out with Tamaya did just come out with the later Jägermeister one, and at one of the later ones from the later '80s, early '90s stuff. So yeah,
nice kit.
This kit was pretty good. This one here, this one, it's Tamaya kit. I liked it. The guy did a really good job with the color. All of the stuff, we were talking, Jeff, on the Rhino earlier. How about decals and stuff like that? These are very much the same case. You've got, a lot of decals with these race cars, and in many cases they're doing, they'll do the body paint color, and then they'll do, before they do the clear coat, in some cases they'll do a little bit of a gloss and put the decals down. And this guy did really good. He did a really nice job with it.
I like it.
This was a larger scale. The picture's a little blurry. I got other pictures that are a little bit better. I didn't realize that until now. But this is pretty much all scratch built.
Really?
To be fair, it was a toss up for best automotive. It was between this one and then a Plymouth Satellite. And the Satellite won out. I actually judged I judged both the models. I judged the Satellite itself, and this one, as well as when another team judged this particular category. But when we're doing best automotives, they get the team captains and the teams together, and we'll look at which ones, because it's basically the best of categories from the first place of each of the individual categories. So I took a hard look at this one both before the judging session and after or during. So the guy did a really good job with it, and the Plymouth just eked out, and you'll see the Plymouth later.
Okay.
This is large scale. This guy did a scratch build. You can see the 24 scale cars behind it, and so this is more like along the lines of like 1/16th, 1/20th scale, that type of thing.
No, the weathering is fantastic.
Yeah, I'm just always impressed with how they apply that age and wear
rust effect,
to metal. Yeah,
the guy did a fantastic job with it. And it's one of those that I really like the rust effects that he did with it and stuff like that.
Now you're saying these cars behind it are 24 scale?
Yeah.
Because I was under the impression when I first saw this that these were like Gaslands cars getting ready for like a Gaslands at the beach.
Yeah, that's for vintage Gaslands, exactly.
Absolutely.
Yeah, those are the 24 scale. So this one really had a good presence on the table, and it was you couldn't miss this one. I mean, it was
it's just even more impressive knowing that what scale these cars are in the background. Mm-hmm. That's just amazing how actually large that car is. So.
Yeah, I took. Yeah, no, that's good.
Where are we going?
Okay.
Here.
Yep, there you go.
Look at that.
So another one. This is a larger. I believe it was an Italieri. 1/12 scale. I think it's the Alpha. I'm trying to remember. This is the Alfa Romeo. So
that paint job is just amazing.
Yeah, the guy did a really nice job with it. There was a really good category with some other stuff as well. But I really like you said, the paint job, that red, that deep Italian red. Oh man.
Well, and he took it just that one little step further, and he just put a little bit of wear on the tires.
Yep.
To show that maybe it got rolled out or he drove it just a little bit, but it's still spotless every place else.
Yeah, it looked really good.
Yeah.
So.
You guys gotta let me know you want me to move.
Yep, go ahead. Next picture. Right. So this one is this is a larger scale figure car as well. This one actually is a Model Factory Hero kit, MFH. If you don't know anything about Model Factory Heroes, they're pretty complex resin and some white metal and some photo etch. Their kits run between, in many cases, their kits could be $400 or $500 to $2,000, depending on the kit.
Whoa, that's crazy.
Yeah, they're and the funny thing is that they've got people will like, oh, it's an MFH, whatever. Yeah, they're not necessarily the easiest kits to build. So it's not a Tamiya kit, let's put it that way. It's not going to be a fairly straightforward build and all this, but the guy did a really fantastic job with it. But a lot of the stuff, a lot of the details, a lot of the things that are there, that's pretty much coming with the kit. There's a lot of work with it and stuff like that. The guy did a fantastic job with it. I was really impressed. I liked the color that he achieved with the blue finish and stuff. The figure was pretty well, and you could, and it was well done. I like the engine. You can see the bluing on the exhaust and stuff like
just
that.
A little bit. Yeah.
So next one.
Impressive kit. Yeah. Oh, look at that.
Yeah, this was, again, another one. This one's a Tamiya kit, I believe. It is a nice, really nice kit. It's the Porsche that they have. Again, it's one of those that all those racing, anytime you see a Tamiya racing kit, everything is a decal. They've got, in some cases, that color, like across the windshield, is a decal.
Yeah,
red included. So there's it's always worth a look. The guy did a really fantastic job of it. You've got the engine. He did do some plumbing and stuff with the engine, and it turned out really well.
Impressive. Yeah. Oh, body's off.
So this is a one. Actually, this is no, that's not the one I was thinking of. Sorry. Yeah, this is the Tamiya vintage Honda kit. This is a Honda racer. The guy did this was actually this one got first place in the category and stuff. It was a joy to judge. The guy really did a lot of nice work on the plumbing and added a bunch of bits to it and stuff like that from the stock kit.
I like how he did the checkered base for it. It just, I don't know, it just adds to it for some reason.
No, I like it when they put it on a base. They've got some stuff to it. I like the fact that he took the body off and put the sawhorses there.
Yeah.
Okay, and give that little bit of a kick, a little bit of added oomph to it. Yeah, but when, like you said, the checkerboard, it draws your eye to it on the table when you're in that sea of stuff. So,
and it matches the car on top of that because the car looks black and white. So
it's actually British racing green.
Is it? It's super dark.
It's like a dark green. It may not be British race, but it's a dark green.
Yeah.
What I remember. So with
very nice car.
Really nice work on the engine. This one was pretty good. This was more of a modern racer.
Yep.
Obviously, and it was, the guy did a really nice job to it. I like the color. I like the blending of the colors where he painted it black and he did the demarcation for the red and stuff.
You can see in the photo of the red on the body, the main body, you see like all those white, that's all the lighting from up above, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that, and I didn't really use a whole lot of flash. One thing I did when I did the post-production for these pictures, because I went through before I sent them to Jeff, I did pull them into Lightroom, and in some cases I pulled up the exposure a little bit, but not a lot. So it was still pretty good.
This shows you how glossy that paint job is.
Yeah. You'll appreciate this one, Mike. This is a 1/43rd scale. So
no way.
Seriously, yeah. So it's a little bit bigger than a Matchbox. So Matchboxes are what, 1/64th?
Something like that. Yeah, they're small.
Yeah. So
that's impressive.
I ended up judging this category, with my team judged the category for 1/43rd scale, and the guy did a phenomenal job of this. So
who makes models that small?
You've got a couple of aftermarket and garage companies that'll do it. You can find them. Rossi used to do one, and a couple of others. But yeah, they're typically, like in this case, more than likely it's going to be a resin cast garage kit. I forget who it was, but yeah.
That's impressive.
This was the old Porsche 550 and stuff. So you can find some from Aoshima might make some, but yeah, typically they're going to be the smaller shops and stuff that'll do it. But,
very cool. I love it.
Resin. This one, it's a little blurry, but it's a Ferrari. The wire wheels were really wire wheels.
Oh, that's impressive.
And it's the same thing. It's 1/43rd scale. So it's the same as the last one. So just a bit hair bigger than a Matchbox car. So
amazing.
Yeah.
Love them.
So I was having problems with my camera right now. I'm having to use the viewfinder when I was going. That's why they were a little blurry. And I was like, yeah, okay, something's on.
Well, they're small.
It was typically me, but yeah. So,
they're nice looking model kits.
Yeah, they are. They're all really well. They did really well. Everybody did a good work with them and stuff. They were a lot of fun. It was a tough category to judge. So
very nice.
Yeah. This is the one that we selected for winning.
And it's still the same small scale. Look at all the detail in that.
Yeah, this is tiny. The interesting thing is that oh wait, it's not going to show up on your screen. On the rear, the rear deck, yeah, right where your cursor's at, just to the left, that piece there. So the screens on top, the guy hammered out the screens to have that rounded top, because the screens actually, you've got the body here, and the screens are raised up. They come up.
Right.
And so the guy actually hammered that screen material up so it actually had the shape of what it was coming from. It wasn't like a flat screen, coming across the flat top. No, it kind of came up and had the.
And those have to be really, really small.
They were. Yeah, it was really impressive. He wired it up. He had brake lines on it, stuff like that. Fully plumbed engine and stuff. So it was really impressive.
Yeah.
This one's all you, Mike. So
yeah,
this one I saw this and the gentleman that did this, you were talking about candy apple schemes and stuff like that for your Barracuda. And
Yeah,
yeah,
that is
so this
gorgeous.
one, the guy did a really nice job with that candy apple, that metallic finish on it and stuff like that. So it's pretty good. A little bit of a
One, his stand is amazing because he did the
yep,
glass separation from the mirror,
yep.
so you can really see underneath his car.
Yeah, when I take cars to shows, I've got a stand from Scale Motorsports, which is a company that does automotive accessories or Scale Automotive Accessories. And the stand I have is got like piece of glass flat, and then they've got a concave or a piece of mirror at an angle, so that you don't have to you can see the whole thing from
Yeah,
the front. So
I,
you're able to angle it and see all the bits on the underside and stuff like that. So when I did my little 240Z earlier, it was in the case, seeing that showing up that. So
yeah, it's really nice.
this is the Plymouth. This is the one that won Best Automotive,
Look at
and
that.
it's actually up for Best of Show, out of all the categories. The guy took a two-door Dukes of Hazzard '68 Charger,
Okay.
backdated it, converted it to a four-door Plymouth Satellite. Okay, and everything he scratch built the hinge details, the glass, like the side mirror, the side windows and stuff. You've got the little vent in front of the mirror, the old school air
Yeah,
vent that we used to
yeah,
just pop open. Yeah, they're actually popped open. He did
very
a full
nice.
custom engine, everything in there, all plumbed up, all detailed, brake lines, fuel inject, carburetor lines, the whole 9 yards. Everything on the underside, we were like, we didn't pick it up, but he had what we call a build book. Okay. And this was apparently his family's car called Wendy. Okay. Okay. And so this was a car that he had the pictures of the real car, and then pictures, like he had the little 3x5 picture in the little binder he had of the real car's details, and then his car's details, the model's details.
Really?
In the back seat is a grocery bag filled with groceries
That's awesome.
with period correct groceries.
Oh my gosh.
Okay,
Well,
it looked like,
that's
what? Oh, you can see some of the stuff in there from the pictures or whatever he had it. In the passenger seat, there's a couple of other pictures I have of it. You can bounce between them if you want, Jeff. I should have a few pictures of it. But in the passenger seat is a vintage late 60s, early 70s baby seat with the steering wheel. Jeff, you probably had it. So, with the steering wheel and a little bouncy, thing like that. Yeah.
Oh my
But,
gosh. That
and,
guy went all out for this.
yeah, he did. It was funny. When we were doing the judging for Best Automotive, it came down to that big tow truck we saw and this. And I'm like, I judged this one directly. And this is what won out because
it's those little details, though, that make the kit great.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It's phenomenal. I mean, he did the mirrors. He actually has the passenger mirror down halfway. Okay, you've got the air cleaner on it. Now, here, hold it here. Look at the trunk lid, and you can see the ribbing and stuff on the inside of the trunk.
Yep.
On the real car, it's raised up like that. Everybody's like, oh, it should be flush. No, look at the pictures. We open up the build book, and he actually had pictures of it, and there is a raised gap between that ribbing on the real car and the back of the sheet metal of the actual trunk lid.
Yeah.
And he nailed it. I mean, he actually had, this is my trunk, the old car trunk, and here's the real trunk, my model trunk, and it was just phenomenal.
Did he say how many hours he put into this project?
I didn't see that. I didn't capture that part. To be honest, but he had all the hinges were done. He did the hinges on the hood, with the springs and stuff. The guy just did a phenomenal job with it. It was super impressive. You even had the texturing. Oh, yeah, there's the engine. You can see the yeah, there you go. It's a little blurry, but you can see where he added all the fuel lines, the brake lines, all that stuff, everything in there. He even had over on the left side behind the air cleaner, he looks like he cast a clear resin windshield washer reservoir.
Yeah.
So,
man, he went all out.
Oh, he did. He's even got the hood latches and stuff like that. The guy did just a fantastic job.
Did he use like a real fiber for the heat insulation on the hood?
It looked like it. Yeah, it looked like
Okay.
a little bit of a fibrous material and stuff. It like I said, everything he pretty much had replicated what his family car was. I mean, all of us talk about building the car that you're gonna, that you had one day or something like this,
Yeah.
a motorcycle or something. Yeah, the guy had all these photos of his family's car and just
Brought it to life.
went nuts with it and just did a
Yeah.
fantastic job of it.
Love
So,
it.
It was
Fantastic.
a tough choice between the car and between this one we were judging and the bigger one. But I mean, the fact that the guy did all this conversion, the tow truck in the earlier pictures of the tow truck, it had a larger presence on the table, so it naturally drew your eye to it. The fact that this is 1/24 scale, okay, and the guy did all this work to it is just I mean, it's like taking a blood claw space wolf and turning it into Logan Grimnar. I mean, come on. So,
but it's at the same level of that scratch build because he took 2 cars, made 1 car out of it, all the other little details. Because that engine compartment, when you buy these plastic kits, they already have all that stuff in. He had to remove all that.
Yep.
And rebuild all that.
Yeah, he did it was. I mean, even the hubcaps, stuff like that. It was all just phenomenal work with.
That's just amazing. Yeah. Just amazing. Look at
so
that.
This one's for you, Jeff. This one was like an old, chopper. We ended up judging motorcycles and stuff like that as well. The guy took an old Revell kit, and we already talked about how lovely the fit is on Revell kits and monogram kits and stuff like that. And he just did a full custom bike of it.
It looks like a bike that was done by Orange County Choppers.
Mm-hmm.
Because they did a military version.
Except this probably ran better. Okay.
Absolutely. I'm not saying anything about the quality, but it looks like something like a replica of what they have already done. Because they did for the military.
The guy did a really fantastic job with it. Because what's funny is that on the other side, I think I might have a picture of it. I thought, or it might have been too blurry that I deleted. Yeah, there it was. So he took a fuel can and put it as the oil pan, as the oil
reservoir.
Yeah, thank you. So he did that on the side. So it was really well done. The guy did a fantastic job.
Well, and even recessed. What's the recess on the back fender?
Yeah, he drilled it out and put a screen there, like an air, like an intake screen or something like that on it. Yeah,
very nice.
So very cool.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Yeah, this was a Tamiya kit 112. Not bad. All those, again, when you have Tamiya Racing, all that, this is basically a white painted model, and then everything else is decals.
And it turned out amazing.
Yeah, it did turn out well. It was in the same category. There were a couple of bikes. Unfortunately, Jeff, when I was doing post-processing, there's a few more modern racing bikes like this one that a couple of Ducatis and stuff that the pictures just were too blurry. I just deleted them. So.
Getting down to the detail on some of these bikes would probably be you need a different type of camera, or we have to have a better setup as far as setting them up, getting the lighting, everything else to bring out all that detail.
Oh yeah, if I had my light box here, like I got here to do it or whatever, that I take the model picture, it would be perfect for that. But yeah, here it was, that. This is the 1/16 scale DOS Works Leopard, the one that just came out at Andy's. You saw?
Yeah.
Somebody had already gone through, built it, and entered it in the show.
Camoed it up, got some netting on it.
I was a little, the netting was, correct. A lot of, when you see pictures, a lot of leopards in the field, especially in training and stuff like that, they have that whole netting camo off the front.
Right.
I'm like, it's such a nice kit. I wanted to see all the details under, I mean, come on, just do a little bit. You don't have to cover the whole thing up. I mean,
you can always just kind of wad it up and put it in like a bundle and
or have a little bit of, there's a guy named out of Poland, Lucas, does Cold Demon PL or whatever, Demons PL on YouTube. He does modern armor with, and it does all kinds of armor, but he did like the Leopard and a Abrams and stuff like this, and a modern Panther, the KF51, with the camo netting and stuff. I'm like, oh, it looks really good the way he did it and stuff. But it was like, this is correct. This is how they are fielded in Germany, And I'm like, yeah, but
You didn't get to see all the detail.
You know,
there's a whole bunch of really nice detail that's covered up by that netting.
Yeah, it really is. I'm like, doggone it, man. You know, the guy did a really good job with it. I really, really liked it. This definitely, I mean, it definitely has a presence.
Well, 1/16 scale, yeah.
Yeah.
Very nice. Like his weathering.
Yeah, he did a really nice job with it. And the tanks in the background that you see in some of the photos, those are 35th scale, standard, 35th scale tanks and stuff like that you see and all that. The Abrams of the next picture, please. That's also 1/16 scale. That's a Tamiya kit, I believe, or Trump.
Is that the remote control one?
I think it's the static version of the remote control one that they came out with a couple years ago. But yeah, this I believe got best armor. So, and the guy did a really good job. He went through and did the texturing. You can see there on the baskets and on the upper surfaces and stuff. He did the anti-slip texturing and stuff. So, yeah, did a really nice job with it. And I don't know if it was the same guy that did the other one, the Leopard, but they were in the same category, and it was really hard to choose. So,
well, what makes it stand out is you can see how the tank itself is all weathered and dirty, but then he put some new things in it, like the boxes and the cooler that are clean, that just kind of tell a little bit of a story. Not like a big story, but they're like, yeah, it's an operational tank. They just got some supplies.
It's just, again, that attention to detail.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I grabbed most of the pictures. I think the following pictures or whatever are of the 1/16 scale category, and this one's, I was thinking of you, Mike, when I was doing this. You were talking about the Sherman.
Getting ready for Thanksgiving.
Yep, I know.
The red igloo cooler right there.
Yeah, it's like clean and pristine, like they just got some water or something like that.
Yeah, just the attention to detail. I mean, that's one of the reasons we do these picks. I know a lot of times we talk about 40K and sci-fi and Shadow Point and figures. But again, all the detail that we're seeing on these, scale models, it's all techniques that we use, that we can apply, that we can add to what we're currently doing with whatever game model you're working on.
Yep.
And there's someone giving them a poker chip.
Yep.
So I love that custom that you guys have in the modeling world with those poker chips. I think that's just cool.
Awesome.
Yeah, I'm working on. I got to get find a graphic artist, because I want to do some poker chips and stuff and stickers for glue, screw, and barbecue for
Mike. We should consider watching with Mike and Jeff poker chips for when we happen to venture out into the world.
Yep.
You mean go socialize with people?
Yeah, that would be something. That'd be new for us. We're always saying get out of our comfort zone.
Ooh, I don't know if that's a comfort zone I want to get out.
That's a bridge too far, man. Do interact with people? Are you insane?
Well, fine. You send them to me, and when I go to these shows, I'll drop them on some of the.
There you go.
There you go. That sounds like a better.
You're socializing for you. Okay, you can live vicariously through me.
There we go.
Then our poker chips have to have the motto, scared to go outside, but we send our representative.
I love this tank.
So this is the 1/16 scale, Andy's 1/16 scale, M113 APC.
Yeah.
The guy did a really good job with it. Again, it was in the same category as the other ones. So okay, stiff competition.
So, it's a transport vehicle.
Yeah.
But look at all the spent ammo on the front of the by the gun. That's just so cool.
Yeah. The interior detail.
He did a really good job of it. I mean, Andy's kit is really nice. There's a couple of different folks, Value Gear Details out of Steve Munsell out of there in Flagstaff. Excuse me. Andy's carries his stuff and all that. He's down there all the time. Steve's a great guy, but he does stuff. He's starting to get into the modern stuff for and doing Vietnam like Alice packs and up until basically through Jeff's era of the military, in the 80s and stuff like that he could do. Alice
70s, 80s,
So, I said 70s and early 80s. 81. Okay, fine. When I was in grade school, you were okay. So or middle school, I was in middle school. Yeah. Anyways,
I love it though. It looks so cool.
So, yeah, he did a really good job with this. There's a guy named John Spud Murphy, who's a very well-known modeler out of the UK who's doing one right now on Facebook, and he's one of those masters type class type modeler. He did that. He's doing the same APC, and it was like, wow, dude. Okay, this guy here, the gentleman here at the show and stuff, did a fantastic job with it. I liked what he did with it. But if you really want to see the next level, check out Spud Murphy's stuff, like his stuff on Facebook, because he ended up printing out all the jerry cans in the bottom for like anti-mine protection. They used to fill them up with, put like not jerry cans, excuse me, ammo cans on the floor, and stuff like that. And it was like, wow, as a bit, and sandbags as well as a protector. It was like, wow, cool. But this guy did a really, really nice job with it. I like the details. You can see the smoke grenades and stuff in there in the back. You've got different crew equipment, and if I remember right, a map or something like that in the back seating area. So
very cool.
It's showing the vehicle in action, like it's in a conflict right now.
Yeah. If there was only one thing that I would say is if you put it on an actual base with the groundwork and stuff, that's where you've got when you're going to the upper. I mean, one of the things that's I'm gonna soapbox for a minute, but one of the things that drives me nuts a little bit is tank on a plank. And as I started getting into armor modeling and stuff, it's like when you just put a model out on the table, there's nothing there, but you got all the mud and everything else on it, weathering and stuff. It doesn't sell it to me. If you have it on a base, even a simple base, and you've got some of the groundwork there, that sells the weathering to me. That kind of makes it.
Well, and again, it ties back into what we do, because Mike and I, many times have said the base makes the model.
Yeah.
You take, for example, the Logan Grimnar model. If that didn't have that detailed base, and then you didn't add your own personalization to it, it takes away from, you could have the best painted Logan Grimnar on top of that you've ever done. But if the base is just, I'm going to throw it on this. It's just a round piece of black plastic.
I'm going to get the 1990s sawdust flock that's green, and I'm going to put that on there.
Yeah. But you've got a modern. It doesn't tell the hard work you've already done on the main part of the model.
Yeah.
And this guy did it. You're absolutely correct. The guy did a fantastic job, and it just would have been that little extra step to put it on that to kind of finish that story.
Yeah. Oh, the famous Jeep.
Yeah, this is the TACOM 1/16 scale Jeep. So guy did a really good job with it. Really good work. I liked a little bit of the weather work and weathering and stuff like that. They at the IPMS show they grouped together all the 1/16 scale models together. So this was in this, all the ones from the Leopard to the Abrams to the AP 113. Now they're all in the same category competing amongst themselves, which is like, okay, but
it's good to see that it's a category now.
It is, yeah, and it's. And there were some other things, like there's some there in the back that I didn't take pictures with, like the German. From this picture here, you can see the 250 and stuff like that. I was like, I just didn't grab any pictures of it. Actually, I might have, and they were blurry or whatever.
See, but you see this photo with that's a simple base. There's not a lot going on in that base, but it does bring that tank more into a photo that you're looking at.
It complements the hard work you got here.
Exactly. That's why, some friends of mine have convinced me, because to be fair, I'm regurgitating what they, the whole tank and a plank discussion, because they were right. They were like, yeah, we don't like this and whatever because of this. And it's like, you know what? You're absolutely right. Yeah. And it's caused how I change, like the truck that I did, the AK Interactive truck, it's basically done. I got to add the windshield wipers and mirrors. But it's not done. The model is done. I have, when we're talking before, I'm going to add the palette and the base and some other stuff to set that to complement the model to kind of set the scene.
Yeah,
that type of thing. So
it looks gorgeous. Oh,
there's another that 113 from the other side, so you can see a little bit of the mud and weathering and stuff and all that. Yeah. But it's a good kit.
Yeah.
This is 1/35 scale German railgun.
Yeah. What a crazy.
It's about 3.5, 4 feet long.
Yeah.
I mean, it's yeah.
I see this model pop up quite a bit. It's just an insane model.
Yeah.
It was an insane weapon.
Yeah.
It was an insane weapon. Exactly. I mean, this is the first time, I have to admit, this is one of the few times I've seen it in 35th scale.
This is Chaos Dwarves in the real world. Because they had a war machine train that they would drive around and pull all their war machines. This is that.
Yeah. Apparently, a lot of people liked it. Look at all those poker chips.
Yeah, well, it's impressive.
Yeah, they liked it a lot. I mean, it was a lot of people. I mean, like I said, it definitely, the guy did a really good job with it, especially like the wood planking and stuff on top. If I remember right, he used engraved wood and stuff like that for it. But yeah, it was really well done.
Very nice model kit.
Next one.
Oh, look at all that.
Those are the figures table. Like this is the figures table. Now here's what they did different. So for the figures tables, you can see down at the legs of the tables, they put the PVC stanchions there to raise them up.
Oh, perfect.
They didn't do that for any of the other tables, which was interesting when it came time to judge, which is why my little collapsible stool was so handy.
Right.
But yeah, they raised the figures up, and the one thing I wish they had done is raised all of the tables up to that height.
Well, the other thing this picture tells me is we've got 186, 87 pictures that Mark was gracious enough to take for us so we could put them on the show today. But if you look, there are so many other models that we're not going to see pictures of.
No, I didn't. And to be fair, I didn't.
When
Jamie and I were walking through, I didn't take pictures. There's some guys. There are. If you really want to see it, I'll post a link to a guy's Facebook. Some club, Gateway Club. I think it was a St. Louis club. Went through and took pictures of every entry in the show.
Oh.
So I'll put that link on there in the Discord channel and stuff like that. And because if you want to go see every model that was there, then yeah. But I was like, yeah, we'll never get through this. So
yeah,
no, absolutely not. You got to be selective in what you do.
Yeah.
And that's why I took things like 1/16 scale. I took, the figures, focused on that mostly for what you guys are, focused on with the show. And the one I took the cars because I'm like, and Jeff, I threw one here and there for you.
And David, I agree with you. It's nice to see that the modeling hobby, there's so many people out there enjoying the modeling hobby. And this is just the people going to a show. You can just imagine how many people are out there just building models and just having a good time with it.
Yeah.
Nice model there.
This one is, what's his name? It's supposed to be Tom Hanks's character from
Hey, Darren.
Saving Private Ryan. So.
Yeah. Very cool.
Yeah, look at that.
And again, it's on a nice plinth. It's a nice plaque there, but there you are. Where he's standing is represented, which just ties everything together.
Yeah. Doesn't need to be a massive base, just something to bring the story alive.
So to give you an idea, well, I mean, you can just keep going through the different figures here, Jeff. A lot of these are 35th scale, 54 millimeter, which is 1/32 scale, or they're, some are 1/16 scales, but there's a lot of different ones here.
Oh, look at that. That's nice. Godzilla.
Ah!
So David, with regards to how many
grenade at this.
Huh?
He's throwing that grenade at this.
So to give you guys an idea, there were 2,919 models entered into the database.
Holy moly.
There were 2,600. So before the show, they had 2,919 models in the database. Okay. Because to register your model and stuff like that you had to do it online. Okay. If you waited till the day of the show, then you stood in line on one of the laptops and had to manually enter on a computer your stuff and print out the things like that. So this was actually really good. The guy did a really good job. I think I got a little bit. Yeah, there it is.
Oh, there it is.
A little bit closer view. It's called Space Marine, but I'm like, this is a nice 3D printed model. I don't know where that's from, but I'm like, I want to get it actually.
But look at that face. It actually looks alive.
Okay. Yeah, the guy did a phenomenal job with the facial and stuff like that, as well as some of the bits of the armor, like the ab section stuff. It's got carbon fiber on it. like carbon fiber decals and stuff on it. So
wow,
Yeah,
I
just
did a really
amazing.
good job with it. But
Okay.
David, so there were 2,919 models entered in the database before the show. There were 2,684 models that were checked in that participated in the show and made it to the table. So they had 235 models that never made it to the table, but had pre-registered. So they had 922 IPMS members registered, and they had 504 of those IPMS members actually entered in the contest. So 500 people brought basically 2,600 models.
Dang. Where do you? Oh, amazing. Tend to showcase here.
Yeah.
My father never. Fantasy.
Painted stuff.
89.
Mother and the father.
Cool. Don't know where you can find that model.
Actually, in some cases, so some of the figures could be. I'll tell you what. If I find that Space Marine figure, which is on my want list as a 3D printed STL and stuff like that, I'll send a link. I'll post it in there.
But, yeah, and there are a ton. Like for example, Scale 75, who they have a line of paint. They have actually a line of paint that I actually use quite a few colors. They also have an entire line of models from sci-fi, fantasy to historical.
Yeah.
There's post-militaire, Verlinden. I don't know if they're even still around anymore.
No, Verlinden's not around, but there's two shops that I'll recommend. Two shops that carry a lot of figures, and they carry a ton of both sci-fi and all that. One is Last Cavalry out of Michigan, okay, and the other one is Michigan Toy Soldier, also out of Michigan. So they ship everywhere and stuff like that. You might also check Burbank Hobbies website; they do carry some stuff. A to Z Hobby out of Texas does carry things, some of the sci-fi stuff, things like that. You also, if you're looking for overseas, you might check out Hobby Link Japan for some of the more Japanese related stuff like your Gundams and your Macross figures and, Machine Krieger and stuff like that. But Duke, hit me up if you have any questions or whatever. I'm on the Discord as well, and that's fine. And I'm also on Facebook.
I did a 1966 Vietnam Ranger that I got from Post Militaire. Yep. Back in the day for my father-in-law who served. That was the year he served 2 tours, and he served in 66. And but there's a lot, and it was a white metal. It was basically a white metal model. It was I think it was 120 mil.
120
they're out there. You just got to do some snooping. So
yeah.
Andrea Miniatures was an older company that does more of the historical stuff. Like War of 1812 and French Revolution and stuff like that. Yeah.
So much.
They're out there. You just gotta kick in your Google Foo and
Bean Body, Monty Factory. A lot of those places have been coming through doing stuff. 3D Cults 3D or 3D Cults, whatever it is. So
nice stuff.
I just really like that bust.
Yeah, I like this one too. I thought the guy did a really good job. It's a Roman soldier on it. I like the textures of the cloak. The way he did that.
I thought it was really good.
And then the facial, a little bit darker tones of the face and stuff like that really worked out well.
With just some subtle highlights on the nose and the one cheek.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Don, reach out to Mark through Discord, and he can probably help you connect some of those. But yeah, there are literally a ton of stuff out there that you really just have to kind of dig 2 or 3 levels down to get to, but they're out there.
Yeah.
Yep.
Too many, as a matter of fact.
You're not going to find them at the hobby store.
No.
Yeah, no.
Like I said, there's some shops like Last Cavalry, they literally specialize in figures.
Yeah.
So they're the guys who, when I go to Amps Nationals or whatever, last year at South Bend, they had it. I'm getting a facial. Yeah. Okay. So thanks.
Yeah, no, there used to be, like, I remember Brookhurst used to carry a lot of that stuff out when I never made it out to California. They carried a lot of the busts and the historical stuff. Like I said, back in my day, you could get Verlinden, you could get Post Militaire, but I think those have all gone now. But the kids are still floating around out there.
Yeah, Verlinden you can find on the secondhand market.
Yeah.
If you're looking for, but like you've got the stuff. If you're looking for more, good companies you've got. I talked about H3 Models, which is a company out of Korea. They do like these. They're doing 3D printed get the angle right, Mark. They do 3D printed figures. Okay, and come on. They do 3D printed figures, but they do them in all the scales. Like this figure is available in 48 scale, in 35th scale, in 1/16th scale. I mean, that's what this guy is right here, is that figure, and the detail is just phenomenal. I'll take some pictures of it, and when I'm done priming it this weekend, because I want to get some paint on it, and I'll put it up on the Discord channel under the
Very cool.
What is it, historical modeling or whatever I do.
Oh, look at that.
I just put my stuff. So yeah, this is Queen Elizabeth before during her service in the war, before she could be queen. So
nice model.
I did a really good tone. So this one's for you, Jeff. I thought it was appropriate. So it's and then here's you've got some fruit.
Amazing crude.
Yeah. Amazing.
Yeah, the guy did a really good job with the bases.
Oh yeah,
with the jungle leaves and stuff like that on it. Yeah, did really really nice. I like the tones.
I think I have some of these leaf patterns from Gamer Grass.
Yeah. I think that's what it was.
It's nice to see him at the model shows.
Yeah. Yep. And then you've got some BattleTech figures and stuff.
Yeah,
here.
look at those.
I know Joe was painting some BattleTech figures for a while.
Oh, so. Love that stand he got for him.
Mm-hmm.
Very nice.
Yeah, it was in the guy printed out it. The reason I took this was because of the stand. The guy did it looks like a 3D printed FDM plastic stand to hold him in, to display him in. I was like, wow, okay, that works.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah.
This is like the models used in the sequel of the Thing.
I couldn't tell.
John Carpenter's The Thing.
Honestly, I don't know what this was from. I couldn't tell.
I initially, at first glance, I thought, oh, Tyranids. And then I looked closer. No, these aren't Nids.
No, they're not Nids. They're not. That's the thing. I don't know where they're from, and I figured, well, you guys might, but
they're fantastic.
They've got the kind of rounded edge base of
I know who you're talking about, but I can't think of it either.
Like War Machine or Malifaux.
Like Privateer Press.
Yeah, War Machine.
Privateer Press. There you go.
War Machine. Yeah, they've got that, but I didn't recognize. I'm like, oh, I don't know where these are from. So.
Well, they relaunched War Machine, so it could be a new faction for War Machine, for all I know.
They are.
I know that they've been doing. I think it's My Mini Factory. Was it Steam Forge bought War Machine?
Yeah, something like that. Okay. They were bought out.
Yeah, they're offering 3D printed models through My Mini Factory.
Yeah, so it could be related to it. This could also be a random Kickstarter for all we know.
Yeah, it was really well done. I mean, I like the way that they, definitely have the purple veins, and like I said, it's very much. At first, I thought it was Tyranid colors or Tyranid models, but it's like, wow, okay.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right, Darren. There's so many out there right now. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Absolutely.
If you get a 3D printer like what I got, you're good. You can start doing everything you want.
I am going to make an effort today to take all these pics that Mark was so gracious to take for us, and I'm going to try to load them up on Discord. I'll probably go in and create a category maybe called Mark's Travels. I don't know yet. But I'm going to try to get all this up on Discord. So
my travels are done for this year. Except for local shows. There'll be a local show November, but it's up in the air whether I'll attend it or not. So
David mentions it could be one-page rules, and one-page rules started a line of miniatures, and they do have skirmish level game models and also big army models. So it could also be related to that too.
Well, they're painted really well though.
Yeah, they look gorgeous.
I did a really good job. Good job with the basing, like the desert and stuff. Very contrasting. So.
Oh, look at those.
This is another one. I don't know.
These are Infinity.
Yeah, that's the first thing that popped
up. Oh, yeah, it is. Infinity in the back next to the.
Yeah.
It says Infinity there, just right next to the left. Yeah, there.
Oh, there it is right there. Yeah.
Yeah, model name. So it's from Infinity.
Very, very cool.
I'm not familiar with. I haven't done much with Infinity models and stuff.
They're true 25s. They go there as you get older. They're harder to put together because they're actual true 25s. But when they're put together, they're fantastic. They're absolutely gorgeous models.
Okay.
Absolutely gorgeous models. So
Very nice.
I love this one. This one, when I was putting the pictures up, I literally stared at this one for probably 5-10 minutes.
Yeah,
just zooming in and looking at it.
Yeah, the guy did a fantastic job with this, with the shading. And you've got the lower panel contrast between the upper panel, highlights, and the lower panel shading and stuff. It's just, the guy did a phenomenal job for it.
And the gem effect on the chest and also on that piece just looks amazing.
I think I got another closer picture.
There it is.
Their paint. I mean, he just did a fantastic job with this, and I'm like, wow, okay,
that's really nice.
Kind of makes me, kind of is making you're kind of making me go, because my Eldar army that I'm a little bit here and there is Bale Tan, the white and the green, and I'm like, really? Yeah, okay, I'll never get there. Not that level. No.
Look at that.
Yeah, this one's for you, Jeff. The wings. I know you're a big fan of the feathers and the way that shading is done. So,
yep,
love it.
See, I did think of you.
Looks like he even has it on a Gundam base.
This is where you were thinking of me.
Well, there's that too.
Yeah,
and to be fair, I do have a couple of things for you for that project. I need to send you a little bit of a care package. I'm adding one or two other things for you as well.
I recognized who this bus was before I even actually read the
Yep.
Yeah, it's like, actually, quite, for those of you who don't know, he is actually, even though he was a bit of a scoundrel, he's one of my life heroes. And what he managed to accomplish during World War II.
You and I are agreement in that one, because ever since I saw I never knew it about until I saw Robert Conrad as a kid do the Baba Black Sheep, and then I saw how bad it really. It's like, really? Okay. And years later, you're like, oh yeah, that show was so bad. Not even. I mean, it's like, oh, okay, but. Yeah, all right, great.
But that show prompted me to learn about this man more.
Same thing, exactly.
Absolutely.
Let me interrupt. David, have yourself a wonderful weekend. Thank you for stopping by and hanging out with us, buddy.
Yeah, thanks, David.
Thanks, David.
Yeah, but no, that this is Don, that I want to get this bus now, to be honest with you.
I will. Well, that makes two of us. So when I find it, I will. I think it may be a Young's Miniatures bust. I've got to check the Last Cavalry website, because they do carry Young's Miniatures.
Yeah.
And they've done a couple different figures from different, characters and well-known. So, for example, they have the Spitfire pilot that was Tom Hardy from Dunkirk.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
They have, obviously, Major Winner's character from Band of Brothers and stuff. And, that is
actually really nice. So. Yeah, this would look really good finished up, and if I ever get that one of my Corsairs done, it would just be a nice little display.
Yeah. We'll get it done.
Yep.
One day.
Yeah.
Can you guys still hear me okay?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Apparently my phone decided to overtake my speaker here. So yeah, this is a Young's Miniature. This is one of the ones I was telling you about.
Very cool. Yeah. Very nice.
So nice. Even the
this
detail
really
on the flag on the shoulder.
I think this one here was just phenomenal. The guy did really. I mean, like you said, the detail work on the flag, the detail work on the parachute and stuff like that, and the facial.
Yeah.
I'm thinking this one and the Indian the Native American, are the same, from the same guy, just based on the nameplate for the base.
Yeah.
It was the same style. I was like, wow, the guy did a really, really impressive work. Yeah. So, I mean,
both of those are fantastic.
Yeah. I love the facial details he picked out on this figure and stuff. I was like, wow. Yeah.
Yeah. Very, very cool.
Don't
know who this guy is.
I saw him at the Smithsonian.
Yeah, absolutely.
I didn't send you pictures of the DC trip, but yeah, I'm still filtering through. I took for the 2 weeks. I took 1,300 pictures.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah.
So, again, just the weathering detail and just the added little things to this back and forth just makes it really nice.
And just a simple snow base.
Yeah, and you got your gloss. Where
actually, it's sand. It's desert.
Okay, it's desert. It white.
So. Yeah. This is him like when Tatooine, and he's being sold.
Being sold off.
Yeah. So I mean, just the detail. I mean, you've got your weathering, your detail here. You got your gloss. Everything. Yeah. All there.
Oh, love it.
Yeah. Again, back to my era of cartoons, Space Ghost.
This one, I saw this and I took it just for you. So
yeah, very well done.
What you don't see off of this, if you go back to the Space Ghost, he's actually off the base.
Ah, yeah.
The guy has a off the back panel because the base is kind of like a J,
right?
Okay, for that space scene, and then he had a wire coming off the back, so he was actually hovering.
So he looks like he's levitating. That's actually awesome. Yeah. That's fantastic.
It was really cool. Really good job with it. Really great.
Yeah.
I love the yellow and stuff that he did on the hues and stuff.
Yeah.
On
so it's just really nice.
Yeah.
Amazing work. Little baby.
I wonder where these guys are from,
And yeah, I don't know. I think it's an up and coming property that's getting some traction.
I have to agree with Darren. Star Wars miniatures look better when they're weathered.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
True. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Unless they're Imperial. Well, because then they're Imperial, you got to do some weathering, but not heavily weathered.
Yeah.
Because like my TIE fighters, I had to do some weathering, and the first time I did a TIE fighter, my wife called it boring because I didn't apparently do enough weathering. So.
Star Wars has that grittiness to it.
Now, this is I think that was the Grogu and stuff were the last of the figures, if I remember right. But yeah,
right.
And then we've got this is a 72nd scale Magic Factory armored car stuff. Really well done. Jamie actually picked this kid up at the show. So.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm going to let you guys know. I'm going to start speeding up on the pictures because we're an hour and a half in and we're not even halfway through the pictures.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Get a bunch of old guys sitting around talking. You know what's going to
happen. Absolutely.
Sorry, guys. I know when I'm on, you tend to run longer.
We're all guilty of it because it's really cool stuff to talk about.
No, I just like looking at this stuff because you get so many ideas of just how people present their models.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And ideas you may not have thought of, or just some techniques you didn't, you can think about using on your next project.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Look at that.
Very cool stuff.
These are 1/72 scale, so these are the smaller ones.
Yeah.
This is 130. So the guy it's fully lit. So on the interior and stuff like that, he's got things all lit up and different lighting and stuff. And
is that like a control for the lights that's sitting in front? Okay.
Yeah, and it's like he's got it set up, a little battery pack for the LED lighting and stuff on it. So yeah,
very cool.
I actually have this kit, this model, and this is the one. This is the Arlington, right? But it's the same class of ship as the USS New York City or New York, which was the one that after 9/11 that was under construction during the attack at 9/11, and then they took the recovered steel from the Twin Towers and put in the hull.
Okay.
In the bow part of the ship. So like, wow. Okay. So actually, it's a really nice kit. It's a good 18 inches to 24 inches long. It's a really, really cool kit. The guy did a fantastic job on it too.
Yeah.
Looks amazing. Is that nuclear in real life? Is it a nuclear?
No. It's just I don't think it is. No. I don't think it's. I think most of our. I think it's more diesel, turbine.
Yeah.
I think the only other than our subs and our carriers, I can't think of any.
Yeah, I didn't know. It's just one of the newer ones. So.
Yeah.
Oh, this is not nuclear.
This is
No.
not. No, this one, the guy did a really good job of this.
That is amazing.
I love the presentation. I had to take it because of the presentation. We talk about the base.
This one's ghost. This one's ghost powered.
Yeah. The guy did a fantastic job, and it just he had the whole chest with the doubloons and stuff. It was like,
yeah,
that is just awesome.
Very thematic, very good.
Oh, look at that.
I think this is a Russian attack boat.
It is. It's an Alpha.
Yeah,
Russian Alpha. It's 1/350 scale. I believe it's a Hobby Boss kit. The reason I took it is the guy did a really good job. Look at the weathering along the
is that
nose,
gold leafing in the front? Is that like gold leafing in the front? Looks that just the way the picture's coming across. It just looks.
It's a basically a deck tan color.
Okay.
And then the thing about the submarines is that they tend to get scummy on the waterline.
Somebody found something.
My wife's up, so she's not running around.
No big deal.
But yeah, he did a really good job with it. So
I love it.
Very cool.
Yeah, you could see that was a good picture of. You could see the real estate on the table where not everything was just over top of each other.
Yeah.
There, so it did really well.
And there's this gigantic thing here.
Yes, the guy did a massive ship. It was just huge.
Well, this way you can actually go in and just look at each individual model and not be distracted by a bunch of other.
Yeah,
models.
normally, I mean, years past, the tables have been just so congested.
Yeah.
So it really made things.
Look at
and
that
amazing weathering. The water work is fantastic.
Yeah.
Beautiful kit. And there's this gigantic one we were talking about.
That's the gigantic one,
yeah.
So.
Even with the tugboat, pushing it over.
Yeah, it was massive and
my question for this one is where does he display this?
To be fair, it could be a build that was intended to go to or eventually going to a museum.
Yeah,
I know a lot of ship modelers. To be fair, there's a lot of maritime museums, especially along the East Coast and along the Gulf Coast.
Yeah, that's true.
There's guys that will do, they'll do these massive models and then cart them down to those museums because they love them.
I bet.
You can't really find, I mean, most of the historical pieces are underwater, right? So.
Yeah, how did he get it to the show? I think he drove it. To the show.
This was actually, I like this. I took this one because I actually have the kit of the Sea Whiz, and I like the way he presented it. We talked about the base. He actually has, you've got the Sea Whiz sitting there instead of just on a wooden base. This is how it would be typically mounted on a ship. You've got, your area, like danger, don't stand in the red line because the thing turns around fast. Yeah, okay. You'll get beamed in the head if you're not too close.
Love it.
Very cool.
It's kind of interesting how they just do certain weapons off of ships, and it's like
TACOM started doing this, so that's where it's relatively new. Within the last 3 or 4 years, there's been this. TACOM started doing like battleship cannons from the World War II ships, and then this is one. This is from a different company, but I've actually got the TACOM version up back there
in your stash someplace.
Yeah, it's just up there. It's built, ready for getting primer. It's just right there. It's on the. I got to prime it list. So
look at that.
Yeah, that's a German PT boat, Snell boat, or S boat as they're called. But yeah, it's 1/72 scale. It's a Rebel kit. It's guy did a lot of nice work to it. Really good.
Very nice.
Yeah. A modern version of a PT boat. This is from a Swedish company, and actually this is a Tiger model one, and it's really kind of cool. So,
and we are now at the 116th picture.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Again, I'm just going to kind of go through these for something you want to already.
Keep going. Yep.
And then I will slow down just because.
So this one here. This is funny. So this is doing the Berlin Brigade Chieftain, and so the tanks during the Cold War that were mounted in Berlin, the Brits came up with this odd colored pattern. The pile next to the poker chip is the masking tape tree that he, that he had because you mask the color, mask out, block out. I actually have this. This is one of the color schemes I want to do. And actually, I have this very tank to do the scheming. But I also
I don't think there's a better way to represent when someone says, "How much work went into this?" You just go,
yes.
There it is.
Here's the pile of masking tape that as he pulled it off, because you paint the base color, you mask out the white, you mask those, then you shoot the second color, you mask those, you shoot the third, mask that. Pretty soon the whole model's covered with that masking tape, and then you get the reveal, right? Do your best Vanna white and pull, whatever. And yeah. And the
Amazing.
fact that I loved it that he had that pile of tape there is like,
that's just amazing.
With the post-it note, this is the masking tree, the masking. This is all the tape from it. Like, dude, that's
awesome. I did that rhino or the rhino I showed during our pictures, the Emperor's Children rhino. I did 3 of them at one time, and I literally had, as I was pulling the mask off, a pile of masking tape slowly building on my table as I was pulling it off. So, oh my God, that's hilarious.
That's hilarious. I love it.
This is a new modern. This is a German Puma, which is their modern version for. It's similar to the Bradley. It's a more recent vehicle. It's a great kit. RFM makes the kit and stuff.
Hopefully, this one doesn't leak like the Bradleys I've been familiar with.
It's German. It probably won't.
That's true.
Very
cool. Speaking of Bradleys.
Yep. Yeah, this is the old Tamiya kit. Guy did a fantastic job. I think it was Tamiya kit. So
very cool.
British Challenger.
Yep.
Just so amazing. Oh, there you go.
Just good stuff.
Yeah. Disembarking.
M47 in I think Jordan colors, desert colors or whatever. So.
Love it. Look at that.
Israeli Tyran 5, I believe.
Yep.
Which is the T-55 that they captured, and then there's a T-55.
Nice one. There we go.
Look at that. So much nice stuff.
Yeah, some great stuff.
Don, you enjoy making breakfast for the family.
Have a good day, Don. Anyone ever wanted to know what the term "haul down" means in military? This tank right here is a representation of being hauled down.
Mm-hmm.
This little raise of land here is protecting the front of that vehicle, and that's what when they refer to "get me hauled down," that's what that means.
Find a bunker.
Yep, find something to hide that lower hull.
Yeah.
Yep. Reduce the profile and
Absolutely. The difference is this guy should be getting his rear end in that turret.
Yeah, that should be hidden and
Mm-hmm. He's obviously never seen Fury.
Yeah. Yes, puppy.
Very
so this
cool.
is a Ukrainian M1.
Oh, okay.
So it's a Ukrainian Abrams where they've taken the Busk armor, and then you can see they've got the anti-drone screen on the top, but they've also taken the ERA bricks, okay, the explosive armor bricks from the Russian tanks and mounted it to the Abrams.
Yeah,
really good. The guy did a really good job with this. I like
very cool. Idea. Very nice.
We got the Israeli version of the M60, the Magak.
What's in front of it? Is that like just
It's a mine plow. Yeah, so it's got it basically is a mine roller.
Okay.
So it'll run along and then blow up any mines and stuff like that. Yeah.
I have a bunch of these for my Team Yankee 15 mils.
There you go.
Yeah. With the ablative and everything. It's actually very cool. This is a very nice pick.
Yeah, I did a good job.
Oh,
this is a Sheridan. Cool thing about the Sheridan is that it was kind of it came out from Vietnam and stuff, but they used them as it actually shoots a anti-tank missile out that barrel, as well as normal tank shells.
Okay. Yeah, they have that. They have that missile, or used to have that missile in War of Tanks, which is a pain in the rear end.
There's an M60 variant, M60A2. They call it the Starship, that does the same thing.
Yeah. Very nice.
Very nice stuff.
Just everyone's weathering their modulation in their painting. It's just all very nice.
Yeah.
So nice.
This is the Striker Dragoon. It's got the larger, heavier cannon on the top.
Yeah.
Of the Striker.
The other thing that this vehicle is a perfect example of this is every military around the world has vehicles that actually serve the same purpose but look so dramatically different. It's not even funny.
Yeah. Yeah. This one, I actually picked this kit up. AFV Club just came out with it, and the guy got me. He saw me coming. He saw me coming. It was like, oh, man, really? Okay.
Well, actually, one of the reasons I'm more of a World War II aircraft nut than I am modern, because modern aircraft are impressive, but during World War II, you just see so many different designs of aircraft because they're trying. They don't know yet, so they're trying every possible configuration they can think of to accomplish. They were designing planes around weapons, around engines, trying to figure out the best way. And you look at aircraft now, until you start getting into the stealth technology, you can see where they kind of figured out how to make the most efficient aircraft. But in World War II, you don't have that. You have pretty much any design they can think of. And the same thing now
they were
with a lot of ground vehicles.
It was almost like they were spitballing designs because, the way they were doing their advanced development during World War II, like you said, they were trying everything. And, they'd produce 20 or 30 different of this airframe and put them out in service and see how well they did. And they're like, yeah, okay, let's upgrade this, upgrade that.
Yeah. We've got this 30 millimeter cannon. We want to put it on a plane. How do we do it? Well, let's do this. Let's build a plane around it. Oh, and we're going to have the gun come out the spinner of the prop.
Yeah.
P-39 Airacobra was born. The Corsair was designed around the Pratt & Whitney, the double watt engine because it had this gigantic engine, which is why its nose is so high to get the 13-foot 6-inch prop off the ground.
Yeah.
So, but that's what I like about even modern
ground
now. You're seeing all the different designs while they're trying to figure it out.
Yep.
Well, and it's kind of funny is that the Corsair, the F4U1 and the 1A were mostly land-based Corsairs,
right?
Because they, especially the bird cage, the tail wheel's so short that the pilots couldn't. They had a hard time seeing on the carrier deck, so they were there.
Watch any episode of Black Sheep, you see them doing the runway dance.
Yep.
Because they can't see the runway because the nose is so long. They're so far back.
Yeah.
That they can't see where they're going.
It's like driving one of the really old Corvette Stingrays with the long front end.
Well, it's kind of funny is that to digress a little bit, when we went to the Udvar Hazy Smithsonian Museum, which is their airplane museum out by Dulles Airport. Okay, that's where they move most of the aircraft at. All your jets and all the different ones. The Air and Space Museum is now mostly, to be fair, mostly early. You've got early war, early stuff, or it's mostly space. A good 70% of the displays were space. But they've got the Corsair at Udvar Hazy at a high bank coming in with the gear down, tail hook down, and it's in basically the turn to come in for a landing. But our docent that was a friend of ours that was giving us a tour, he asked me, he said, what's wrong with this picture? He goes, it's in the landing config, but something's off. And I looked at it and it took, I looked at everything. I'm like, no, wheels are down, the flaps down, this. The canopy was closed. And I said, your canopy needs to be open when the Corsair's coming in. He's like, right. He goes, we had to close it because we had too many NBA wannabes, on schools that were trying to throw it into the cockpit. And I'm like, really? And he's like, yeah. So we closed the canopy.
That's just sad.
Yeah, it really is. But it was because it was like it was close to, they have multiple walk plank levels at that museum you can walk around and see different things. But yeah, so
yeah, that's awesome.
Look, I've got this kit. I picked it up. Look for this on a future project, probably next year. We'll see. So yeah,
great stuff.
Oh, yeah, God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like the Striker. The Striker's got a lot of, especially the ones that were used during recent years and stuff during Iran and Iraq and Afghanistan and stuff. So yeah, there's a lot of different options with them.
Ooh.
That's a nice jet.
Yeah. Nice. I like the color scheme. He did it's a B model. for the or B or D model 2-seat version. They did with that color scheme. It looks really nice. So.
Very cool. Ah.
Yeah, I like this one. There's a couple of pictures of this. This is actually the one that did the recovery. This is 66. And so you can see that it says Apollo 11. It actually recovered most astronauts.
Darren right now is in awe of this kit. He's a big Apollo mission guy. So he probably is. Oh, this is a nice kit. Recognize it right away.
Yeah, it's a Hasegawa kit. Really well done. Guy did a really good job with it.
Yeah, very nice. I do like the Apollo patch touch.
Yeah.
Well, look at go to the little close in picture, and you can see go back one right there, just next to the patch on the model. You can see the recovery module. You see the markings?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah.
Yeah, below the window. Yeah, they're the Mercury and Gemini markings.
Too. Yep.
Very nice.
Absolutely.
That did this on display. Oh, at Midway in San Diego.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Very cool.
Yep.
Look at that.
Very nice.
Love how the blades are just bent slightly.
Yep.
Yeah, they got the natural root.
Yeah.
Very nice stuff.
Hold on a sec, guys.
Uh-oh.
What?
Mark had to step away.
All right. Very cool.
Those are not. Oh, I like that decal on the back. Oh, I don't know if it's a decal or not.
Probably is.
Yeah. Look at
Very
that.
nice.
I love that.
Good stuff.
Sorry about that.
Little bird.
Jamie's up, so I handed out the puppy.
Her turn.
Yeah.
Beautiful kit.
Yeah, this is the Kitty Hawks, the little birds and stuff. They came out with a really good kit of it, and I've got a couple of them, and I'm just pulled to it. You know, this and the stuff. So yeah.
Darren saying it's on the USS Hornet in
Alameda.
Alameda.
And then he has to make a Star Trek quote where the nuclear vessels are. So, which is a quote.
Check off.
Absolutely a quote. It is a quote from Star Trek 4, I believe.
Yep.
In Alameda, where the nuclear.
No, yeah, there's 4. Yeah.
Yep. Absolutely. Well done, Darren. Nice connection.
Look at the detail on that.
Yeah, the guy did really good. I mean, the kit is really well. The base kit's really well done, but the guy did a lot of work. He added things like you've got the tow bar, like for the fast ropes, just above the gun's chain belt. You see that little bar that goes from one pillar to the other.
Yeah.
Like there, just before the minigun's ammo belt and stuff like that. That's so that because these could have the configuration change from being a troop carrier to a gunship. And so what they'll do is they'll take the guns off and put a plank like what you saw in Black Hawk Down that the guys sit on outside. Now what they've done in the newer ones, they also add a bar to the top there to have a fast rope. So if they can't land on the roof like you saw in Black Hawk Down, they'll have the guys just drop down from the planks to the fast rope and then move on. So
very cool.
Yeah, but he added a lot of details to it. This is the TACOM, that's the TACOM Apache. That's 35th scale. That's not 48. So
massive, probably.
Very nice.
It's about 18 inches long. It's a pretty good size kit. I'm gonna fight the urge to say I got one. I got one of each of these over there. I'm a sucker for helicopters. So. Yeah.
They're just amazing. Like just the fact that they exist is just amazing.
Yeah, the fact that the blades stop, you're falling. Okay.
Yeah.
No, the blades stop. You then begin, practicing your auto rotation techniques.
And hopefully you did well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Classic.
Huey.
The old Huey.
Yeah.
I love the smell of napalm in the morning.
Tamaya extra thin in the morning. Yep.
Yeah.
That's nice stuff.
Yeah.
Again,
So many models.
so many models. We got such a small. I mean, we were talking about having a lot of pictures, but it's literally just a very thin slice.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. When you think about it, I took 187 pictures of maybe 150 models because I got multiple, for like the Plymouth, multiple pictures and stuff there. Out of 2,600 models, I said. So
yeah,
from the stats,
very nice.
That's why you got to break your judging up into groups, because there's no way one set of groups could judge all that.
No, for automotive, my team judged, I want to say probably about 11 or 12 categories. Just
very
cars.
Cool.
Yeah. Oh, getting into the planes. Jeff's favorite thing right now.
Yeah, World War II aircraft.
Yeah. So much.
I grabbed these because I love the way the modeler and stuff does the German aircraft. Say what you will, but the color scheme, the mottling or whatever, the patchwork and stuff like that for the camouflage and stuff it's one of the harder things to do with an airbrush. If you go back 2 pictures to the Focke-Wulf 190, there. So you look at this one, and the guys, this one actually calls for like about 7 different paints.
Really?
Really, yeah. Because you've got the green and the brown, and you've got 3 different colors on the tail fin for that splotchiness and stuff like that. Not to mention the red and the yellow. But then on the underside, you've also got part of the underside of this airframe was natural metal. They left it as silver. So they're, you've got your P51s and your different ones that were like, okay, sea blue or gray and green and whatever, natural metal. The German aircrafts are just kind of captivating for me from an airbrushing and modeling perspective because of the complexity of their scheme.
Yeah.
I mean, this one, it's like, okay, you've got the hard edge and stuff for that, but then you go to the next one and you've got that late war camouflage, and you're like, wow, okay. Yeah. And it's just like the splotchiness. There's probably 4 or 5, about 4 colors there. Because typically it could be RLM 74, 75, and a 66 on the underside.
Right.
Yeah.
So.
Very nice.
Navy didn't have that much of a problem.
No, Navy didn't have that much of a problem. You know what I mean? That's where you had that period of you either have the intermediate gray, like the light gray and white, and the early stages like the birdcage Corsairs and the early stuff right after the beginning of the war, and then you went to the tricolor where it was like white, intermediate blue, and dark sea blue, and then they pivoted to just a dark sea blue, and then later on they had used the white for demarcation for carriers. So like this markation, the markings on the plane here, like the tails and the wings, denoted what carrier it was from.
Oh,
from like carrier air wing or whatever. Different, especially later in the war, like 1945, late 44, mostly throughout 45, you see they're dark sea blue and they've got the numbers like that, but then on the stripes on the tails or whatever, especially the Corsair, like the 1D Corsairs, they've got, different things. It's like, oh, this was part of the Essex, this was part of the Hornet, or that, stuff like that. So.
And also the markings themselves actually were done in a way where you could actually tell the direction of the aircraft based on where the markings were. For example, the reason there is only one, so you've got your star and bar here, but nothing here. But you have the other you have the 2 markings here, but you can actually look at it from the ground because the bottom is the actual opposite of that. Yeah. Looking at it from the ground, you can actually tell the configuration the aircraft was in and what direction it was in.
Yep.
Very cool.
Yeah. So I mean that's why it was, there was certain science to it to specify why the markings are where they're at.
They weren't just randomly
drawn.
Yeah.
Darren said he was wrong. The helicopter was lost at sea.
Huh.
Well, a similar one was done up with the markings for the Hornet. Okay.
There we go. I knew the minute he's big into the Apollo mission. Absolutely huge.
Okay, cool. I didn't know that.
Very cool stuff.
Look at that.
Yeah, these are the last 2 are the Edward Wildcat and kit. Really nice kit. Really fantastic.
Love it.
Very cool stuff.
So this is the tricolor scheme that I just mentioned about mid-war, where you had the white on the bottom, intermediate blue, and then dark sea blue up top.
Yeah, good stuff. Love World War II aircraft. They just fascinate the heck out of me. I don't know what this is, but it's funny.
There's a couple of these the follies. This was a junior category.
Oh, very cool.
One of the gentlemen, Merrick, his daughter. Oh, Jamie knows it, not me. Sorry, because I just brain farted. She did these.
They're fun models.
Especially with an 8. Great. Anyways, she did these and she had a lot of fun with them. She did really good. She won a couple of awards with them and stuff like that. So.
Oh, very cool.
I've got one of those kits sitting in my box next to me.
She did really, really good with them. So
very nice.
It was fun.
But I knew you did vintage kits or you liked them, so that's why.
I love them.
Well, again, it's just there's so many different ways to go and what you can do, and just fantastic.
And it's good to see it's a junior category. Someone's out there, giving it a shot.
Oh yeah, juniors they did pretty good. So they were well represented this year. So
very nice stuff here.
Yeah.
More scenery or diorama stuff.
Yeah.
Very nice miniature work on this one.
Yeah.
I like the way the guy did really well.
Oh, look at that car.
Yeah, this is the old Revell Stonewoods and Cook car. I took several pictures of it. It actually was in competition for best of as well. It won the category. The guy did a really good job of it. I talked to him, and there's a picture where he lifted it up. You see the underside of the model. It's the owner lifting it up, not me.
Yeah.
So no drama there.
Very nice.
Lion King. So yeah.
I'm in love with that color.
Yeah. I actually have this kit, and I took it because of the color. He told me it was which color he used for. I think it was Mr. Guns or Gunsy or whatever.
Look at that underside.
Yeah, he did a
well clean.
He did a really good job with it and stuff like that. So
then there's our benefactor who took all these lovely pics. And he liked it so much he did too. So you get a little animation going there. Very cool.
But,
well, I'm gonna do a little applause at the end. That was amazing to see all those wonderful photos.
Yeah, no, it's great.
Thank you so much for taking those and sharing them with us. It's just fun to look at model shows, like the inspiration and just seeing what everybody's doing out there. It's just so much fun.
And every technique that we glazed over, glanced at, looked at, saw today is usable in everything we do on a normal basis.
Panel lining.
Oh no, don't.
So I listened to last week's episode.
I know. I had so much problem with my panel lining.
And unfortunately I missed last week's. I had to watch it after you guys had taped it and after you were live. I kind of know where the challenges you ran into.
What's that?
And some of the corrective steps for your challenges and stuff like that.
Okay.
So we could talk offline if you want. That's fine. But yeah, I mean, I know that for time or whatever. But yeah, panel lining. And one thing to keep in mind, if you're using panel lining and you happen to be using Tamiya's panel liner,
that's what I'm using.
Be careful with Gundam kits. It has an adverse reaction with Gundam's raw plastic kits, and it will actually melt them.
Oh.
For like Bandai. Bandai uses a different plastic than Tamiya and most of the other manufacturers. So don't let it pool, okay, like in a joint or whatever, because eventually it'll make that soft, the chemicals in the panel liner, okay, will make that joint soft and it will not stand up, or you'll lose, it'll basically degrade the plastic. But yeah, so if you're doing panel lining and stuff like that, one of the things to do is put a clear coat. Even though that, when guys are buffing it out, like, no, we're not. We're doing bare plastic for that buffing and all that. You might, there's some things there. A semi-gloss would help keep it where it's supposed to go.
Okay.
A gloss paint for sure, a gloss clear coat. would keep it along those panel lines and in the grooves so it flows where it's supposed to versus bleeding out. If you have a flat surface, it's going to bleed out to, no, I didn't want that. Okay.
Yeah, I'm still playing around with it. I'm having fun with it.
Cool.
Yep, and the thing that's good about the high grade kits is they're not terribly expensive. So if I mess one up, it's not.
No, they're great. They're yeah. I've got several of Zaku's and stuff like that.
Yeah. So, my wife's building them too now, so life is good.
But as far as the show, I wanted to say that before we ended and stuff like that.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, as far as the show and stuff like that, the mall show was great. We had a great time. And next time I go to a show, there's supposed to be another one one here in November, October timeframe. We'll see if I make it to that one. But there's definitely one next spring, and we'll do that. So, this show here, IPMS Nationals, this year it was in Virginia. Next year it'll be in Fort Wayne, Indiana. And then they announced for 2027 it'll be in Huntsville, Alabama. And then for 2028, they're going to shoot for a West Coast. Either there's the way the show is done is there's a national group, but it has to have a host club to host it. They provide most of the manpower, and stuff like that, and the venue and the local stuff. So typically they like to go East Coast, Midwest, West Coast, but it's all based on what clubs actually submit for the next year or a couple of years out to host it. Cool. There's trying to get back to the West Coast, so it might be here. I'm hearing rumblings of like Vegas, in a couple of years after Huntsville, or some of the clubs in California for it and stuff. So we'll have to see. But it might be back to your neck of the woods there, Mike. Worth an easy drive.
You might have to go check it out.
Yep.
David, you mentioned Andy's Gundam build-up meet. Yes, I am planning to go to the September. I forget the exact date, but the first Saturday in September. We're planning on going out there and checking it out and kind of meeting the people that are out there building and stuff like that. So I actually went to Andy's on Saturday, but you weren't there, sir. So he wasn't working on. I don't know if he's still at Dave, are you still at the main? Are you at the main store now, or are you still over at the Tollison store? So what's that? I can't read it.
What was it?
These are the AK markers.
Which ones? The military
play markers. They're both the military one. I've got both the military ones plus the newer play markers. These are the play markers.
Okay.
The ones that you had mentioned and stuff. So
yeah, with the paintbrushy tips.
They've got the little fibrous tips versus the marker tips. The military ones, the real color ones, they've got the traditional like marker tip. Okay, like you were hitting at, and then the play markers. They're kind of like you got a little push button on the back.
Yeah.
For that in the fiber. They worked really well. I did some when I picked up the whole set, when I was there at the show. And one picture I did not add to the list, Jeff, was the picture of the suitcase, the dedicated suitcase that we brought back filled with stuff. We got the biggest suitcase you could pretty much get, and then, the cool thing is that this trip, my wife and I, it was our first trip since we've been together since 2013, our first airplane trip together. Usually to shows, things like this, we'll do road trips.
Right.
This one we flew. So I upgraded. I used mileage points from all the trips back and forth to Korea and stuff like that to upgrade us to first class. And that suitcase, we were good for 70 pounds.
Oh, so
wow, that's a lot.
Yeah, yeah.
I'll put the picture in the Discord of the suitcase. But yeah, it was. Yeah. Jamie expanded the suitcase. They got the oversized tag, and it had kits. It had, all the little stuffs, paint sets. She got a bunch of paint sets and stuff. She got kits of her own. But like I said, you saw me in the when I talked about the Andes videos where we're skimming through, I was sorting through all little things. I mean, I had accessories for metal barrels for tanks and photo etch sets and little detail stuff, things like this. So.
David, if I got some free time, maybe I'll head out there and see you. We'll see.
Speaking of free time, if you guys get any free time, make sure you swing by IOG today. I know there's not a lot left in stock, but it's the last weekend.
Yes, the last
Stop
weekend.
in and if nothing else, say hi to D and express just what it means to you.
Yeah.
I remember when you sent me there years ago, you had me stop in and do a secret shopper for you.
Darren, have fun. You know, it's not have fun, but I understand it's going to be a hard weekend. So my thoughts are with you, buddy.
Me too, pal. I'll give you a holler later.
Yeah. All right, everybody. We are going to head out of here. It's been a long show, but hopefully people got some good ideas, and maybe they're going to venture and try some new techniques and get out of their comfort zone and do some fun stuff. That's the point of everything that we do, is to get people uncomfortable.
Yeah, absolutely.
Except for going out and meeting people. All right, everybody. We'll catch you next weekend. Everyone, take care.
Thanks for joining us, buddy.
Thanks, Mark.
No thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Thanks, everyone, for watching. Appreciate it.
All right, we're going to cut out. See you next week.
See ya.